So collaboration is a great example of maturity in any industry. Travelling here this week, I was able to purchase a single ticket for an airline that had me use the services of two competing companies. They checked my bags and I was able to pick them up when I landed without much concern that they wouldn't arrive. I don't know how they managed to get my bags here, but they've managed to create a user experience where I don't need to concern myself with that. If the bags hadn't arrived, I could have just used my Irish mobile phone to ring the company here in the US. When I get back home to Dublin, I get a phone bill. I won't like the bad news when I see all my calls in the US, but I do like the fact that I haven't had to switch provider when I landed. I didn't even have to go in and choose one. The system chose it for me. So, to buyers of translation services, the technology landscape in our industry is one of disparate systems, walled gardens, captive solutions, and loose adherence to the few standards that do exist. Companies that require the features of a translation management system have had to take on the responsibility of managing the entire supply chain, configuring workflows and users for all participants. Global Site Editions that I mentioned earlier is the first translation management system to allow individual installations be federated into a distributed translation environment that allows each provider in the supply chain to manage their own processes, workflows and users while participating in a connected system that allows content to easily flow from one system to another. Building on this, the next obvious implementation is to create a localization ecosystem that allows any system to seamlessly exchange content with any other system. So working with some of our industry peers, Kilgray with MemoQ and OnTram, we started an initiative called Interoperability Now, with plans to build a reference implementation of how these different systems can work together to remove the friction in the supply chain. The solution will be based on the interchange of a number of different packages. For example, a package could contain a TM that needs to be imported, or files for translation, or translated files to be sent to the next stage in the process. And by agreeing on the structure of a package, the security key to wrap it in, and the XML metadata file that will describe the contents of the package and what the system should do with it, we intend to create a referenceable implementation that can be used not just for TMS to TMS interoperability, but also for TMS to Workbench and CMS to TMS. The solution will be an open standard with a global site open source implementation, and Kilgray and OnTram have also agreed that their implementations will be made available to all tool providers to allow them easy access to understand how to best implement the functionality in their own systems. I encourage you to visit interoperabilitynow.org, view the effort to date and participate in the future discussions. Thank you.